Shalom, friends. Trust that you and your family are doing well. And just want to share a quick thought. It has to do with our dependence on access to technology, and it comes from I was looking at an interview with someone from the military, a military department in a very advanced country, a country where most of the people use the internet and technology as part of their daily life, right? Navigating, going to and from, work and from place to place. Now, as a part of everyday life in these bigger countries, while home to work might be a route that most people are familiar with and wouldn't need any assistance. Even in that, sometimes people use it to, evade traffic and whatnot, right? But that became, for this military unit, a handicap, and they discovered that by doing some research into the persons who were coming in and looking at their inability to navigate, spatial awareness, directions, and even using a map, right? Analog map was an issue, right? And I mean, these are people who you depend on to protect your country in times of crisis and whatnot, and they had this issue. Now, again, it replies to us in our daily life, and an example with me is that I have been looking at my capacity to remember numbers have greatly reduced. Now, I can probably remember 5 numbers, right? And 3 of those were numbers that I actually knew before the introduction or wide use of cell phones and so on. All right, so obviously my capacity to remember, or there's no decline in the cognitive ability, but the capacity to remember new numbers and so on have, of course, dropped off. Now, this is something where our reliance has now become a debilitating factor and causing us to lose capacity rather than gain it. And of course, the technology was designed, or we use it as an advantage, to give us an advantage. But now we realize that without it, we have actually declined where we were, probably without it. I remember, one person was talking about resuscitating your phone and how when the battery light goes red, people get into panic. Your phone is going to die. And then you have to resuscitate the phone, because if the phone dies, that's a crisis for most people, right? But again, look at where, or think about that concept of us having to save our phones from dying, when the technology was really designed to help us, in our life. So I mean, it's a little bit light, but and it carries on to other aspects, and it's a reminder to help us kind of find ourselves in this whole sea of new technology. Persons trying to even use it to cause persons to be fearful, with the introduction of robotics and so on and so forth, right? Of course, I never encourage fear. I ain't seen no scenario in which robots are taking over the world and that kind of stuff. That's definitely for the movies, because think about it. Who's gonna buy it, right? Who's for me? All right, how is a robot? Is a robot coming to wash the wares by me? Is a robot coming to cut my yard, to help me, plant my crops or what? So I mean, it's overblown, and persons are becoming, anxious because of it and so on. But I think it's a reminder for us, who have real intelligence, to keep developing ourselves, personally, so that, whatever situation or scenario arises in the future, we would be able to treat with that and to overcome it, by using the gifts and abilities that He has given to us. All right, so just a short kind of thought. I continue to take care of yourselves and each other. Until next time, you are willing. Be blessed.